We have a spooky podcast today. I started recording.
Spooky. You gotta warn us. You gotta warn me.
Oh, us? Who else is here? Whoa. Do you hear that?
A ghost. Ooh.
I'm Ryan Klein.
And I'm Paul Warren.
And this is another episode of SEO is Dead. Ooh.
And other lies. Ooh.
Well, it's September 29th, but we are definitely in the mood to get spooky sooner than later.
Are you playing spooky sounds in the background?
Yeah, that's why I knocked over the microphone. My coffee mug went flying because I was going on YouTube to find spooky sounds to open up this special podcast.
Oh my gosh. So what do we got? What do we got today, Ryan?
Well, today we plan on talking about my favorite SEO project that got murdered.
So SEO, murdered SEO projects.
Yeah, like the ones that,
ooh,
that's really spooky. It's kind of like, it's not really like our failures one that we did almost a year ago or longer, probably like a year and 2 months ago. But
so it's really what SEO projects we had to kill.
Yeah, we killed them because they were so bad.
Well, maybe they weren't so bad, but like they could have led to bad things happening, or they were really bad.
They were bad. They could have caused harm.
We killed them.
Yep, they were murdered, dead and buried, but we're bringing them back to life for you to listen to.
For our listeners out there, this is going to be a fun episode. There's probably not going to be a ton of takeaways or tips in this one, but lay off. We get one of these once in a while, okay?
Actually, this is going to be highly educational because we already talked about it right before, and I said there's takeaways for every single thing we're talking about, I think.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know about that one. But sit back, relax, and enjoy, because we have some stories to tell you.
Great. Which one should we start with? You want to start with the first one that I discussed with you, or do you want to do one of yours? Or
no, you start off, man. Okay,
the first spooky project that I murdered with my own hands. So back in the day, I had a client, and this is about 2.5 years ago, and anyone that's listening now, we learn from our mistakes, okay? No one's perfect. But basically, we were doing a campaign, comprehensive SEO, building content, optimizing the website on page, and of course, our favorite thing to talk about, almost, link building. We're going through the rounds, started with citations, directories, and then we started building up those links from different places. And slowly but surely, for his main keyword, he went from 30 to 25 to 20 to 15, like that real nice trajectory and trend that you're really looking for, the natural progression of rankings increasing. So this fella breaks the first page. Woohoo, awesome. We're getting up there. Now we're about 5. And I'm pretty sure we're about 3 or 4. And at that point, kind of hangs around there. We're looking at what 1, 2, and 3 are doing, some on-site adjustments or authority where they're getting the links. And what happened was...
Did you get a little overzealous?
We got a little bit. We didn't really wait too long. We were kind of eager just to break that 3. And we kind of built a few short tail keywords that were exact match to the keyword we were trying to rank for, and it plummeted. It was murdered. The ranking went from 3 down to 10 to probably the bottom of page 2 because of over optimization via short tail keyword anchor text backlinks.
So you just spammed the hell out of it.
We over optimized. That link portfolio started to really, really shrink and look very unnatural at that point. And once it hit 18, we did some removal of links and took away some of those links that had gotten it there, but then it was a little bit too much and it probably looked quite unnatural. And that keyword never got back onto the first page.
It died.
It died. It never returned. The client wasn't too thrilled about that, as you can imagine. The takeaway is you can murder your keyword chances through over-optimization. Link portfolios are 100% a thing, and you should always be careful if you over-optimize and get too many links with anchor text that is too specific to the keyword that you're trying to rank for.
True words have never been more spoken.
Do you think I'm going to do that wavering, creeping voice the rest of this podcast? I think that I'm done with it there, but that was the last time I'm doing it.
Okay, I'll pick up where you left off then. So here's my SEO project that got murdered.
You like doing it too. Okay.
Everyone likes doing that. Everyone likes doing voices in general.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened, but kind of on purpose, kind of out of spite to me. I had this job at this company, and they had a main site that got a lot of traffic, like a million monthly search visits from
visits
from the Google.
Yes.
But I did all their local sites. They had about 7 local sites that actually drove like revenue for it, right? It wasn't like those sites didn't get a lot of traffic, but like they were like, the B2C sites for them. And then the main site got hurt by an algorithm update, and all the traffic is just like, they lost like 25% of their traffic, right?
Ow. Was it the medic update?
It was the medic update.
Ooh, the medic update.
Okay. Yeah. So then all of a sudden, a lot of the terms, like national terms and stuff they were trying to rank for, like my microsites started outranking them for it.
Uh-oh.
And they looked at it and they got like real pissed. Also because like I was telling them what they were doing was like wrong the whole time, I was just like kind of shitting on them, and I was like, hey, watch this. And then I outranked them with it was all in their own company, but like they just were like pissed off that like the work that I was doing actually ended up doing better than their main site.
Wait, so the people that hired you were getting mad for you doing work?
Yeah.
That was supposed to work?
Yeah, they were like, so now we got to kill these sites.
Man.
I pretty much had to kill all the content on the sites on purpose because it beat out their main site for those terms.
So you had to murder your creation.
I did too good of a job, Ryan. Too good of a job.
Well, I was just talking about how I was doing a bad job, so you're trying to like one-up me, I guess, at this point.
No. I'm just saying I had to kill it for this reason. I have other things that I had to kill because they sucked or I did a bad job. But this is one of the times that like I had to kill something because it had gotten out of control.
Okay, so it's like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, except it was beautiful. It had done a better job than Frankenstein.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
We can attempt to equate every single one of these projects to an infamous monster or creature.
or we just keep relating it to Frankenstein.
Yeah, it was another Frankenstein. Frankenstein's bride this time.
All right, what you got for the next one? You were pretty clear to me that if you've worked in the SEO industry for about 10 years, you should have tons of these stories.
I do. What was my other story? Oh, okay. I'm of course I'm going to delete all this when I'm thinking about it. Okay, another project that had to be killed because we would have been sued by lawyers. So no one wants to be sued. So this one, we're working in-house. What the hell am I talking? So I'm working in-house, criminal defense law firm in Orlando, Florida, and I'm coming up with content ideas. And, we're trying to target DUIs. Everyone gets DUIs. We want to get more DUIs. How can we get in front of more people that are getting DUIs? So I said, college students certainly are susceptible to getting DUIs because they're reckless. They're young. They don't have anything to worry about. They just,
YOLO.
They just got to go out. They got to party. They got to go to the pub and Devaney's and all those places. Just having
wild and free.
So they get a lot of DUIs. It's a thing. And especially since they could easily get probably kicked out of school and or put on pretty severe probation. So
you do get
they need to have – they'll just get kicked out probably. So I had a brilliant idea. And working in a law firm, I would have thought that, the lawyers would have had a little bit of, the foresight for this. But I said, why don't we optimize for the universities in the area? Because there are quite a few in Central Florida. You have your Rollins, you have your Stetson, you have your Full Sail, UCF, Valencia. I don't know. Maybe that's about it, right? Maybe FAMU has a campus, or are they else? They're
that's like a law school. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Like
anyway, a
law school.
A lot of partying, drinking, driving, whatever. So I had the idea. Let's build it. We're going to optimize each page for the university name. So UCF student, DUI lawyer, Full Sail, all those kinds of things, because we were thinking that it's a possibility that they would search for a lawyer that represents specifically them. Maybe they get a discount. Yeah. Maybe they're alum.
Yeah, like UCF DUI lawyer.
There you go. So they're all posted. It only took about a week. We got cease and desists from every single university in a week. In a week, they had Google alerts or some other more sophisticated alerts that knew that someone created a page associated with their name It came in. These were all law firms that represented each one of those universities, looking at how they're being represented online. They were technologically and digitally savvy, and each one of them had like a dossier-sized cease and desist with a lot of legal jargon, and it was pretty spooky, if I don't mind saying so myself, because I was probably working at this law firm for what, like maybe 6 months when this happened. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for this. This is kind of scary because these are like stacks and stacks of legal documentation and saying you have to bring all those pages down immediately. Sure enough, it really wasn't that big of a deal. For future reference, cease and desist they seem kind of daunting. I don't think they're really that big of a deal, but that was a spooky situation that I had to deal with, and that project was therefore murdered by me once again.
That's a pretty good one. You know, I got kind of a similar one. I don't think I got a cease and desist for it, but let me tell you about a spooky situation we had building a PBN link.
One link or the whole or network or the whole thing? That's
it was
redundant.
A website.
Sorry.
It was a website in it. So I think did this happen to both of us, or I think maybe this was just me and someone else. You know, if you don't know what PBNs are, I'm not going to tell you. Google it. All right, it's not difficult. You can figure it out. But
Google's going to take down the search result for PBN.
But, you know, and when you make a PBN, you got to have a bunch of websites and stuff that link out to like whatever, but you got to find the websites. So I found this old lawyer website, and it was for a lawyer in California. But the lawyer had not, like, he didn't have a firm or, he like had his own thing for a while, and then he quit doing it. And then I think he became like a district attorney or a state prosecutor or something, like a big time position in California. Yeah. And, you know, we took his he didn't re-up on his domain. So we found it and we registered it and put it back up and put the content back up and put links on it.
In natural order, the natural progression of a PBN.
And then we just got like an email to like the email attached to like the contact on the website that was like, hi, I'm so-and-so, the lawyer whose website that was in the past. And he's like, what the hell is my website doing back up? And, you know, we were kind of like, well, I'm just going to take this thing down and delete this email. And I never saw anything. So we murdered it. Like, we legit murdered that website.
And
the registration.
You buried it. You went out and
history was gone.
And you went out on a dark and stormy, spooky night. And then you were
buried
in the
PBN
by something.
website.
You buried it
Deep into the ground.
Yeah, I had something similar happen. It wasn't as bad because you literally put it up as is. So mine has a little, this is the spooky part with a little comedic relief. So this is the scary movie that's a little bit more campy. And you're like, wow, that's funny. We put up a website way back when, maybe 3-4 years ago. And it was kind of the same situation. What the hell is my website doing back up? But we didn't put it back up like as it was before. You know, we put it back up as just, you know, a generic WordPress theme. Yeah. And just started blogging about everything. So it was more like, what is my former website that looks like my website doing up? It was more like, what is my domain name I used to own, now a blog about yoga and doggy snuggies?
Why is it about doggy snuggies? I'm confused.
So that one, I ended up talking to the lady. I gave it back because it's not worth it. It's just, you know, holding someone's website hostage essentially it's not really worth it since there's hundreds and hundreds of websites available. She was just like, I don't know, like, how you even did it, because, you know, like, people don't get, like, when their website expires, you know, after so long, they're able to purchase it, of course. So she just was so confused as to how I found it and then how I purchased it and put it up as something unrelated. I wasn't obligated to give it back because, A, it wasn't branded to her name at all, and B, like, it expired for years. So
I don't think you're obligated to do any of that, but sometimes, you know.
Well, it's not worth it. Like, what's my benefit of holding on to a domain that's has the same value as hundreds of others if someone wants it?
And I guess what I'm saying is, like, you don't want to bring that on yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
it's you know, it's a karma thing, I guess, if you're into that.
It's not just a karma thing. I feel like even if you could win a legal battle, you still have to have a legal battle, which is like money. So,
oh man, I would never go for a domain that had like a PADA 20. I wouldn't even sniff a courtroom or litigation. That'd be so silly.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, if you get a cease and desist letter for something like that, just do it. It's not a big deal, you know?
Well, I mean, that reminds me of people, you know, these background noises. Sorry. Yeah, it's so spooky. The thing about the domain is, once it's expired, it's like fair game for anyone. The one that is kind of spooky is when people take images without giving credit or copyright, and then they get sued for like $1,000 per image. That is some scary crap right there.
I've heard a lot of scary stories about that.
Yeah, that happens for any audio or music, easily sued. It happens for images, easily sued. And then if it's for copy, not at all. That's when the cease and desist comes
you don't want to bring that on yourself. So don't do it.
So that was scary. My skin was crawling. I was sweating. My heart rate increased dramatically. Ooh. And so that's how I know we're on the right track. And hopefully our audience is, some people probably turned off because it's too scary, not that they're not learning anything.
That's the only reason why this one isn't getting downloads, is probably because it's too scary for people to handle.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should have a podcast where people write in their horror stories and we read them out for a podcast.
Yeah.
I think we'll get enough. Let's
put that out there then. If you're listening and you got a scary or a spooky or just a really bad SEO story or you messed up, send it our way. We'll read it on the air.
Yeah, what I want to do a compilation of all your spooky, scary, horrific SEO
digital marketing
stories. And then we're going to post them all on our website, and whatever website is yours, whether it's your business or your blog or your Twitter or whatever, we'll link to it.
Yeah.
It's a link. It's a link opportunity for you. We're all about link building. We're all friends here.
I'm not sure I have anything I can talk about legally.
Honestly, for me, the most scared I've ever been is when back in the day when WordPress was much more susceptible to hackers. I used to have client websites get hacked pretty often. And we're talking like this has really stopped in the past few years. It's just with the plugins and just the inherent security with WordPress is a lot better. But like 3-4 years ago, clients would get hacked. They just would. They would get porn links in the footer of the website. The whole homepage would get hijacked. That was scary.
I used to use what's the really like cheap hosting that like everyone starts with?
Bluehost, HostGator.
HostGator. That's it. Yeah, I used to have a HostGator account with like 4 or 5 domains on the same account, you know, because they give you like the unlimited package, and they were just like silly little, you know, like just whatever little projects and stuff. And like all of them got hacked one day by someone. Like they had, like a bunch of sites on HostGator got hacked, like the servers did. And this guy like just took over everyone's domains and did whatever he wanted with them. And you had to pay like $200 to like get it fixed through some other company that HostGator was like working with.
What?
And I was just like, that's ridiculous.
You had to like pay. They probably hacked it. They probably held a ransom. They're like, we're gonna make
money
real quick.
I was like, no thanks, never mind. I just took them off that, and I like put them on a different hosting and rebuilt the sites. And I was just like, I'm good.
Well, you know what's scary is working with GoDaddy, HostGator, Bluehost, Yext, Yahoo, Yelp.
Oh,
like Yodel
right now.
I was talking to a potential client last week, and he said that his sister-in-law used to be like the vice president of Yodel. And I was like, holy crap, that's so cool and bad at the same time.
Did he hate her?
No, he said that she was really good at what she did.
Ripping people off.
You're like, what does that mean?
She's really good at lying to people's faces and taking
yeah, she now she works for GoDaddy as the like director of international website sales.
Oh, of course. She went from such a quality place like Yodel to an even more quality place like GoDaddy.
They're like, we love what you did at Yodel. Come to GoDaddy.
Yeah. We're about the positive customer experience, I'm sure.
So what else is really, really scary nowadays? I think that I can't think of too many other projects right now. I'm thinking about them reminiscing. It's just too scary, and I'd prefer not to be that scared right now. So some things that are scary nowadays is just where people get their information when it comes to SEO and digital marketing. Because
Matt Cutts.
Oh man,
is Matt Cutts still a thing? Do SEOs today even really know who that is?
They should, right?
So
I don't think so.
I feel like they don't. It was a lot of fun making fun of Matt Cutts for a long time.
Yeah, because you used to call him Matt Butts.
Yeah, Matt Butts.
That was just the beginning of it.
I mean, we still call him Matt Butts, but he just doesn't have,
Actually, that was the first time I've ever called him Matt Butts in my life.
What about like Rand Fishkin? Anyone know about, is he like still a thing?
Yeah, he does his own consulting. I read his book, Lost and Founder, and it was his very candid autobiography about working at Moz. And when I was reading it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. But in retrospect, it was very good. But it was cool. He's kind of open, about what went down and what
that's
he
cool.
messed up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, I'd read about it. I mean, it's not about SEO. It's about how to build a startup mostly. And he pretty much talks about a couple of things that he did correctly, but it's mostly about all things he didn't do correctly.
I don't even know if someone can avoid things and doing incorrect things in a startup. I think it's just like you have to do it.
Oh, yeah. It's just like fail. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like trying to warn a younger person not to make the same mistakes as you, It's just like not possible.
Yeah, I agree. So as far as scary, it always has to be. You always have to be conscientious of where you're getting information. You should never just listen to one person. Don't even just listen to us. You want to verify it from multiple reputable people before you can
multiple reputable podcasts.
Yeah, because I'm like watching stuff in in the legal marketing space, and I'm hearing people talk. They talk in conferences, they have videos, they have podcasts. I'm just like, this is garbage, and I hope that people don't believe this.
Everything that you just said is a lie.
Yeah,
lying.
It is. It's just talking. It's like speculation. Do you know what a lot of people do nowadays? They talk. They don't do experimentation. It's all speculation, and they literally when they're doing presentations and tutorials, they're using the phrase "I think" when they're doing it. So when they're like, "This is the most important element," I think that having a good keyword-rich URL is important. I think it is because it logically, from a logical standpoint, would make sense. And it's like, dude, but it doesn't, and you don't know, and you just said I think, and you didn't verify it. So that's terrifying.
Yeah, they're just lying to our faces.
Yeah.
Lying to our faces.
Hopefully they got. I don't got anything else. So we'll make this kind of a quicker one.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be about it. I think. I think that's all I got too.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. I'm watching some football. I'm watching the Houstons maybe pull off one against the Panthers. But the biggest takeaway is I 100% want people to email us and submit their SEO horror stories, because we're going to read them out and we're going to have a good time. And it'll be like telling spooky campfire tales to all the listeners. Because
are we continuing this motif for the rest of the month?
I'd love to. Yeah, it's almost October. It'd be fun.
Yeah, okay. We can do that. Well, we want to thank all of our listeners out there. Once again, we appreciate all you guys. And if any of you have any questions or anything like that. Also, I got a question the other day about using one of our podcasts in like a blog article. And anyone listening out there and you hear stuff that you want to link to, as long as you cite us, feel free to do it. We're not going to charge anyone. We put it out there for the sole purpose of people listening to it and using it and sharing it. So feel free
absolutely
to do that.
I mean, we'd love the link, but
yeah, just give us a link, and if you ever want to write like a top 10 SEO podcast list, you just throw us in there. That's what we want.
I like that. That's actually behind the scenes. That's all Paul talks about. We just got to be more on 10 list.
Give me that list.
How are we not on the top 10 for every goddamn SEO list yet?
Like I'm useful.
You are useful. Don't worry about it.
Damn it. I need validation. But we appreciate all you guys listening out there. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to hit us up at seosanalyze@gmail.com, or you can go to our YouTube channel and leave a comment. We usually respond pretty quickly, or hit us up on Facebook. You respond to messages on there pretty quickly as well. And feel free to like, share, subscribe anywhere that you see our podcast at. And if you want to leave us a positive review on iTunes, feel free to do that too. We would love to have as many positive reviews as possible.
See, all these plugs completely non-monetary, just focused on the dissemination of good quality SEO information.
Yeah,
across
we get zero monies for any of this podcast. We're just literally doing it for our own egos. So if you want to, help build those up, please go out there and just, give us a couple of 5 stars, give us a good review.
Yeah, my only plug is UCF Knights. back on track.
That's more just a positive feels.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, anyways, well, thanks so much for listening. I'm Paul Warren,
And I'm Ryan Klein.
and this has been another episode of SEO is Dead and Other Lies.
Bye.
Boy.